Love. Some of us have it. Some of us don't. I don't. But I think whether or not you have love, whether or not you want love, you can appreciate a good love story. And where better to find love stories than in musical theatre? Don't answer that if you like a film love story, but maybe it's been turned into a musical. There's so many of those. These beautiful couples going through very human experiences, the slow burns, the building up of a relationship is so gripping to watch on stage. But with so many, this does beg the question that we were always going to have to answer. Who are the best couple in musical theatre? I mean, there's so many to pick from. Surely there is no way to find out who scientifically is the best couple in musical theatre. Boom. Welcome back to the versus bracket, the only true way to find out who are the best of the best in every category that is known to man. I have gathered 32 of the strongest musical theatre couples, and they will fight to the death to decide who is the best couple in musical theatre history, in my opinion. That's all we can do. I mean, is there a scientific way to do it? I don't know, but this is the only way I can think of doing it and make it entertaining for you. But if you haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Ellie. I talk about theatre. I am the most chaotic theatre person on the internet. I do reviews, I do discussions, I do this. And if any of that sounds interesting to you, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me out help start the channel. But let's dive in to couples in musical theatre. This video is going to make me feel real lonely. We have 32 couples from different musicals. It was really hard because a lot of these musicals, like something like Waitress or Guys and Dolls, has multiple couples in it that could be picked, but I've gone with my gut feeling on every single one, and we're just going to dive into it. Starting with our first pairing. Veronica and JD from Heathers and Tymoon and Daniel from Once on This Island. Neither of those relationships end up well. You know, one of them dies and gets turned into a tree, and the other one of them dies by being blown up on a football field. But, you know, we've got to dive into the question, and sometimes we're going to have two couples that neither of them are great. So let's beg the question. I mean, I feel like if we're talking about which one is the more entertaining couple to look at their journey, I would probably say Veronica and JD. You know, there's a lot about their relationship, and, you know, it starts off very strong, and then slowly you realize, wow, this is toxic. And Tymoon and Daniel, their relationship, it was always doomed to fail. You know, Daniel's just listening to his parents too much, and the influence on him wins over in the end. Poor Tymoon. Tymoon deserved better. But then again, at least Daniel didn't try and, you know, blow up an entire school. I feel like due to the toxic nature of Veronica and JD's relationship, even though Tymoon and Daniel's doesn't really end up well, I feel like if we're discussing these two, I feel like I think Tymoon and Daniel are the stronger couple. Next up, oh boy, I feel like I'm going to use the opposite the opposite argument with this one. We have Katie and Aaron from Mean Girls and Mrs. Lovett and Sweeney Todd from Sweeney Todd. Now, I don't think this is a controversial statement, but Katie and Aaron story's a little bit boring. I'm just gonna say it. Look, even in the original Mean Girls film, even in the film, which I like the film, you're not watching that film to see the relationship between Katie and Aaron. You're not. Neither the film or the musical really gives much time to it. It's just kind of like a plot beat, mainly because of the fact that they're kind of boring. You know, are they a good couple? Sure. There's misunderstandings and, you know, Katie becomes more plastic and he's like, you're just like Regina George. And she's like, no. That's my dramatic recreation of Mean Girls for you there. But still with that, I feel like they are probably a stronger couple than Mrs. Lovett and Sweeney Todd, which if I was going to call Veronica and JD dysfunctional, these guys are more dysfunctional. However, this is a pairing that are better suited for each other than Veronica and JD, because, you know, they both love a little bit of, a little bit of the old... you know, that's my dramatic recreation of Sweeney Todd. But also doesn't end well. It's a clearly one-sided relationship. You know, love it, Sweeney a little bit more. But it's actually more interesting to watch, though. So, who's going to win? The couple that is probably the stronger couple, but are not very interesting to watch, or the couple who are made for each other, but are also very dysfunctional, and it ends really badly? Call me a bit of a hypocrite for who won the last round, but I'm going to give this to Sweeney Todd. Next up, Amelie and Nino from Amelie, and Dawn and Ogie from Waitress. Okay, I love Amelie. I wish Amelie had an easier pairing to get them through this competition, because I feel like these two are really sweet, and it's the slow burn coming together through the musical of Amelie. But Dawn and Ogie, come on. Never have you seen a relationship as perfect as Dawn and Ogie. Sure, Ogie starts off a little bit strong, which we will criticize, as rightfully should be. I mean, you know, if you guys weren't perfect for each other, that behavior would be a little bit less appreciated. I would say that. I think that is fair to say. As they get to know each other more, as they share their hobbies, you realize that these two are meant for each other. They're little quirky weirdos, and we love little quirky weirdos. I'm a little quirky weirdo. You know, does it beat Amelie and Nino, who are like destined for each other, constantly missing, building on each other, and finally coming together once they are ready? Yes, probably. I feel like Dawn and Ogie are probably stronger, which hurts me because I wish Amelie got further in this list. It's rare I get to put Amelie in one of these things, and Amelie's gone in the first round. Damn it. Sandy and Danny from Greece, or Georges and Albin from Lacage. This is an easy dub for Lacage. I'm sorry, girl. Why? If you have to change everything about yourself, everything you stand for, all of your style, just to be in a relationship with that person, it's probably not that healthy, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Whereas Georges and Albin, you know, it's a hard relationship. Georges it kind of neglects his partner in a lot of places, and Albin is very hurt by that in the musical. Georges is conflicted with the love between his son and his husband, and, you know, he doesn't always make the right decisions, and it's a hard situation, but they come together at the end, stronger in their love as a family. I feel like Georges and Albin clearly win this, hands down. Slam it down on the table, they've won. The Thénardiers from Les Mis. You thought I may have picked, like, Marius and Cosette? No. Because, you know, that's sweet, but it's a bit like Katie and Aaron. You're not going to Les Mis to watch that relationship. You're there to watch, like, Jean Valjean and, like, the war and the fighting and that side of it. But do you know who's an alternate couple in Les Mis? The Thénardiers. Thénardiers are made for each other. They are both just awful people. But they're awful together, and that is what true love is about. Whereas Adelaide and Nathan, again, like a relationship like Lovett and Sweeney Todd, is very one-sided. Adelaide clearly is just infatuated by Nathan, and Nathan doesn't really seem like he could care less, honestly. I feel like in this situation, the Thénardiers take this. You know, the Thénardiers may bicker like an old married couple, but it's because they are an old married couple. And Adelaide and Nathan bicker like they're an old married couple because they've been engaged for 14 years and haven't got married yet. Bernadette and Bob from Priscilla, and Emma and Alyssa from The Prom. Ooh, okay. This is interesting, because I really like the inclusion of Bob's character in Priscilla. You know, Bernadette has just lost one of her lovers, and she's going on this journey and befriending a bunch of drag queens, and she, on the way, meets the love of her life, someone who really suits her. I feel like the musical doesn't really have enough time to explore that relationship in a little bit stronger of a way, but it's lovely. But Emma and Alyssa, you see the ebbs and flows, you see the ups and downs. They're going through this really harsh situation as they're just being denied entrance to the prom, and Alyssa, you know, doesn't want people yet to find out that she's a lesbian. She's not ready for that. Bernadette and Bob, or Emma and Alyssa, I feel like I'm going to give it to Emma and Alyssa. Elphaba and Fiyero, or Usnavi and Vanessa from In the Heights. Ooh, okay. There are moments in Usnavi's and Vanessa's relationship that are questionable, especially in the film. But, you know, by the end, you realize that these two are just slowly coming together. You know, they can't say goodbye to each other. They both have bigger dreams and places to go, but they can't say goodbye to them because they love each other and they can't be without each other. Elphaba and Fiyero, it's not my favorite element of Wicked. And, you know, I feel like it's not bad, but again, it doesn't have too much time dedicated to it in the show before Fiyero, you know, gets magicked and you know, becomes angry at Elphaba. Is that the plot to Wicked? I haven't seen Wicked in a while. I should go back and see Wicked again. Is he Scarecrow? Which one is he? I can't remember. I'll say Usnavi and Vanessa. It's close. I feel like both have pluses, but I'll go with Usnavi and Vanessa, as my gut is telling me. Marvin and Wizard from Falsettos, and Robin and Dougal from Two Strangers. Oh, if you haven't seen Two Strangers, it's a new British musical. I did a review of it last week. It's so sweet, and you really get a sense of these two coming together and building this relationship slowly, and you realize how perfect they are for each other. And like, there's a time limit on it, and it's a really sweet rom-com musical. But Marvin and Wizard as well have a really complex relationship. You see the ups and downs. You see them break up and split away from each other, and then realize a few years later that, you know, they want to rekindle that. And then tragedy strikes, and we all cry at the end of Falsettos because Jesus Christ. Oh, they didn't need to do that to me. Oh, this is tough. I could give it to either one of them. I would honestly love to send both of these to the next round, but I've got to make a snap decision. And I feel like the snap decision, I'm going to regret it. No matter what I pick. No matter what I pick in this round, I'm going to regret it. But I feel like because I've seen it more recently, and also I want to promote new British musicals, I'm going with Two Strangers in this one. Am I wrong with that? I don't know, but that's what I'm going with. Another new British musical, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. We have Benjamin and Elowen, and The Wormwoods from Matilda. Oh, okay. Is this going to win for the same reasons Thénardier's did? The Wormwoods are nasty. You know, they're spiteful. They're not nice. But you know what? If they were made for each other, they were made for each other. But I don't think they're going to beat Benjamin and Elowen. It's a doomed to fail love story just because of what's going on with Benjamin Button. You know, he's aging backwards. So, you know, there's going to be a point in this relationship where it just can't work. And you see that from the musical, and they explore it in so many really interesting ways. And it just hurts because you know that in any other lifetime this would have worked out between them, and it just can't. And I'm going to give it to Benjamin and Elowen. You're going to the next round. Congratulations. Satine and Christian versus Sophie and Sky. We have Moulin Rouge versus Mamma Mia. All right, Satine and Christian, I would compare it quite a bit to something like To Moon and Daniel. You know, it's a love story, but, you know, Satine is destined to marry someone else, and it just can't work out. And then Satine dies because, you know, she's got that really bad flu or whatever. Moulin Rouge is weird, but I kind of like it in the same way. Whereas Sophie and Sky, you know, they've still got time to grow in their relationship, but you can tell why they love each other. You can tell why they're perfect for each other. I feel like I'll give this one to Sophie and Sky. I feel like Satine and Christian are an interesting pairing. I don't know why. I'm just let me go in my gut, okay? Link and Tracy from Hairspray, or Phantom and Christine from Phantom of the Opera. If we want to talk about dysfunctional, Phantom is he's a guy. He makes many decisions in this relationship that you know, I wouldn't have personally made, but you know, fair play to him. Whereas Link and Tracy, you know, they are a sweet pair, even if some of the song lyrics in Hairspray are a little bit questionable. Link, why did you think this girl was going to love you when you say the line, "Tracy, I'm in love with you no matter what you weigh"? That's not the pickup line you think it is. You know, Phantom, he's just very lonely, and that loneliness makes him do terrible things. But we can't forget that those are terrible things. This one's going to Link and Tracy. Will they make it much further than the second round? Probably not. Oh, Gomez and Morticia versus Jack and Catherine. Sadly, I have to go with the musical version of The Addams Family, where Gomez and Morticia aren't as strong as a couple as they are in some of the other versions. I feel like the thing about The Addams Family is that they're weird, they're dark, but they're so loving and they're so like perfect as a unit and as a family, and they clearly value the family, that if I was talking about any other version, I feel like these guys could win. I don't know. I feel like it's still strong in the musical, especially with the ending, them coming back together and everything. But, you know, it's not as strong as some other versions of Addams Family. And then there's Jack and Catherine from Newsies. It's nice. It's a cute pair. I mean, they work well together. They you know, they're sweet. Is it the most infused I'm for a relationship in a musical? No, not really. But I feel like you get a real sense of the fact that they value each other, and yeah. But I feel like in this case, I would give it to Gomez and Morticia. Bonnie and Clyde versus Orpheus and Eurydice. Ooh. Oh, I feel like it's hard to beat Bonnie and Clyde. You know, there are problems with that relationship. You know, they are in fact criminals, but you do get a sense of them completing each other, even if completing each other means, you know, robbing people and murder. And Orpheus and Eurydice, they have a sweet love story. And in Hadestown, it's fleshed out quite well. You get different elements to it. Orpheus goes into the underworld to find her and bring her back. And Orpheus lets that doubt sink in. It sinks right in and it ends badly. And he screws over Eurydice, you know. And if you don't have that foundation, you don't have that foundation to let that doubt push it away, to push that doubt away, can that relationship really blossom, especially when your partner's been sent to the underworld? I don't know. Whereas Bonnie and Clyde, you know, for all their faults, they go out together. Bonnie and Clyde wins this round. Elle and Emmett, or Angel and Collins from Rent? No, this is too hard for round one. This is rude. Okay, Elle and Emmett are a great pair, you know. Elle is so dead set on Warner and slowly realizes that she doesn't need Warner. She can stand up for herself. And then once she's done that, once she's found out who she is, that's when she can open her heart to Emmett, who helps complete her, who helps guide her. The two are really sweet together. Angel and Collins, though, as well. It's the relationship I chose from Rent because I feel like it's the strongest from start to finish. You know, Maureen and Joanne, they're constantly fighting, they're constantly bickering, they're getting jealous of each other. Mimi and Roger is a nice building of a relationship, but Angel and Collins come out of the gate. They are perfect for each other. The passion and the drive they have for each other is so beautiful, and it ends so tragically. It hurts, because I feel like I've just given a great point for them, but my gut is telling me Elle and Emmett. Oh, why was this such a hard pairing? This was rude. Phil and Rita from Groundhog Day, or Adam and Barbara from Beetlejuice? Ooh, okay. The thing about Groundhog Day is that it's about Phil Connors becoming a better person. And once he's becoming a better person, that's when he can open himself to love and be loved by Rita. It's a sweet reflection of his growth and his journey through the show. And, you know, Rita isn't afraid to call him out on his shit. And Adam and Barbara are so sweet. I love what they do with them in the musical. Because, you know, it was very easy to kind of push them to the side when they were switching Beetlejuice to be less focused on them and more focused onto Beetlejuice and Lydia. But still they have such a care for each other, and you can tell how much they love each other, and they're going through this really harsh situation, still maintaining that love. I feel like I'm going to give this one to Adam and Barbara. And if you disagree, you can write me a 10,000 word essay in the comments down below. Oh no, don't do this to me. Maria and Tony from West Side Story, one of the greatest love stories of all time. And Seymour and Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors. My bias in this situation would go to Little Shop of Horrors because I like that musical more. And, you know, I feel like it's important to lay your biases on the table when they are rising up. We all have them. It's not a crime. I feel like people are going to say I've committed a crime if I don't put Maria and Tony through to the next round. But, Come on, Seymour and Audrey, they're such a cute pairing. And, you know, if Seymour hadn't sold his soul to the devil, maybe it would have worked out. I don't know. But Maria and Tony, it's a Romeo and Juliet story. And I feel like there's a reason why that Shakespeare story is so timeless. I don't like this because no matter what I do, it feels wrong. If I don't put Seymour and Audrey through, that's one of my favorite pairings. And you know, Audrey may have weird choices with how she wants to pass away, but you know, there's a metaphor behind it. And you know, good on you, gal. You'll forever be with Seymour once you're both in the plant because he immediately gets eaten. Well done. And if I don't put Marie and Tony through, that's one of the best love stories of all time. Bias on the table, and I'm going to give this one to Seymour and Audrey. Is that the wrong decision? Maybe. But sometimes you got to go with your gut, and my gut is telling me go with your bias. There you go. First round done. We can speed through the next ones really quickly and find our winner. Tymoon and Daniel, Lovett and Sweeney Todd. Probably Tymoon and Daniel. Again, I mean, I could use some similar reasons, but the fact that, you know, Sweeney murders Mrs. Lovett is probably not a good sign of their relationship. Dawn and Ogie versus George and Albin. Ooh, tough one. I'll give this one to Dawn and Ogie. I feel like they're so wholesome. I feel like their wholesomeness leads them into the next round. Thenardiers versus Emma and Alyssa. You know, Thenardiers, they come out on top at the end. You know, they've blended into the aristocracy. They've stolen from all the corpses, you know, and they're doing it together, no matter how much bickering they have to deal with. I'm going to give this to Thenardiers. Robin and Dougal versus Eustavi and Vanessa. Robin and Dougal. Again, they're so sweet. They're so cute. I'm giving it to them. Benjamin and Elowen. Sophie and Sky. Ooh, Benjamin and Elowen. I feel like that's the right one to go with. It's a forbidden tale. It's a forbidden love. It's never going to work out, but God, you want it to. Link and Tracy, Gomez and Morticia. This is easy. This is easy. Gomez and Morticia. 100%. Bonnie, Clyde, Ellen Emmett. Ellen Emmett deserved to go further than this. And so did Bonnie and Clyde, honestly. Why'd you have to do this to me? This could be a finale. This could be the final pairing. And I'm going to get rid of one of them in the second round? This is not fair. I feel like because the musical that they are from is more focused on their relationship than the other one, I feel like it is probably only right to give this one to Bonnie and Clyde. But oh my God, I cannot express how much that hurts my soul. Adam, Barbara, Seymour, Audrey. You know, I like Adam and Barbara. They're cute. They stayed together. And I feel like that was enough to win them against Groundhog Day. But you got to work a little bit harder to beat Seymour and Audrey. All right, quarterfinals. Let's go. Tymoon and Daniel versus Dawn and Ogie. I feel like we have like a lot of the pairs I don't really care about or are a little bit toxic at the top. And now we're up to a point where we've got the wholesome, cute relationship. Dawn and Ogie. Let's go. Thenardiers, Robin and Dougal. Is this recency bias that Robin and Dougal have got this far and that I'm still considering them above Thenardiers? Thenardiers and Les Mis, they've been married for a while and yeah, they are perfect for each other. But, you know, we don't really get to see any evolution to their love story. And that is why I'm going with Robin and Dougal. How have they got this far? I don't know. This is probably recency bias, but I don't care. Benjamin and Elowen, Gomez and Morticia. I feel like my love for the other versions of Owen's family is starting to come into play here because Benjamin and Elowen, you know, it's doomed, but they're so perfect, and in any other lifetime it would work out. But Gomez and Morticia are like the perfect pairing. They complete each other 100%. I feel like I'm going to give this to Gomez and Morticia. Bonnie, Clyde, Seymour, Audrey. Oh, I love Seymour and Audrey, but Bonnie and Clyde have got this one. All right, semi-finals. We're going to crown our winner soon. Dawn and Ogie from Waitress, Robin and Dougal from Two Strangers. Oh, I can't use the same excuse I used to knock out Thenardiers here because Dawn and Ogie's like slow burn relationship matches very well to Robin and Dougal's. I think that I would like to give this one to Dawn and Ogie. Robin and Dougal, you know, they are a great pairing, but Dawn and Ogie, perfection for each other. And as we slowly get to see more and more of what they're like and how they match, I feel like that's why they cement themselves as such a strong couple in my mind. Gomez and Morticia, or Bonnie and Clyde. I have to put more emphasis onto the musical versions. If it was more than that, if I could say include some of the other versions of Adams, especially the original comics, maybe Gomez and Morticia would rise a little bit higher to me, but the fact I feel like they've got this far is a testament to how strong they are as a couple, even in the musical. But I don't think they can beat Bonnie and Clyde. And here we are, the final two. This has been really interesting. I didn't predict this. There were other couples I thought would get further. I thought the finale would include Seymour and Audrey, but we are down to this. Dawn and Ogie from Waitress, or Bonnie and Clyde from Bonnie and Clyde. Let me know in the comments who out of these two would win, and if there's anyone else who, didn't make it this far, who would have got a little bit further. But now it is time for me to make the difficult final decision, the one that everyone's going to disagree with, but I think that's what makes these videos fun. Everyone has their different opinion, and you can share it in the comments. You can go to the lengths of doing the entire board if you want to, and show me your full breakdown, which I always find really interesting when people do that. And they're my favorite comments on these videos. Dawn and Ogie are a great pairing. They're a great couple. They are perfect for each other, but I feel like from beginning to end, you realize how perfect Bonnie and Clyde are for each other, even if that does include, crime. It's a great love story. It's a fantastic love story. It's one of the most beautiful love stories that we've ever seen that involves crime. And I feel like what the musical does really well is giving you that sense of why they've come together and why they can never go apart. I feel like in this case, in this moment, sitting in this chair, my winner is Bonnie and Clyde. But let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. Who are you most surprised didn't make it further? I'm so surprised that Maria and Tony wasn't in that finale either. That they could have gone far. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me, it helps the channel. Here's some links to some other videos on screen right now, and a link to my Instagram if you want to drop me a follow over there. But that's it for me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.